Did you believe that you were targeted deliberately, that people knew who you were, knew that you were landing on that flight, and deliberately targeted you?
I believe so, yes.
Well, Brittney Griner is in the news again. So she has a new book coming out called Coming Home, which details her terrifying detainment in Russia and her return home to the United States. So there's a few videos I want to show you first. One is by, I'm sure you guys all know him, Officer Tatum, talking about Brittney Griner.
Talking to that boy, Brittney Griner.
Did you believe that you were targeted deliberately, that people knew who you were, knew that you were landing on that flight, and deliberately targeted you?
I believe so, yes. I wholeheartedly believe that. It was the whole going through, doing the transfer, how I was singled out to come over when there's a flood of people walking through, not being scanned, things not getting searched. There was a tip, something they knew I was coming through.
Russia don't give a about what she's saying. Brittney Griner pled guilty. It's not that she didn't do anything and she pled guilty. She's gone to Russia almost every summer for the last several years. She played basketball in Russia and makes millions of dollars. She sneaks that weed, she sneaks that stuff to Russia every time. They know she's doing it. She knows she's doing it. But then she come back here and lie. She violated the law. She been running that weed back and forth. She got caught. Let me play the clip of Joy Reid talking to that boy. Brittney Griner.
Did you believe that you were targeted?
He said that boy. So yeah, he makes a good point. She's been playing there for years. Why it didn't just happen now? And let me just play this little clip here from the great Joy Reid, who gives her input. Do it play.
Has been there, and she went through, years. It's to me, it's sort of shocking to think about spending nearly a year far from home, wondering if you'll ever get out. Because she was sentenced to 9 years, 9.5 years incarceration for what in this country would amount to nothing, and for something that wasn't even deliberate. But I think the Putin regime understood that they had not just a black celebrity, a black queer celebrity, somebody who could be used internally as a pawn, somebody who they could sort of internally mock and hold hostage from the United States, knowing the trauma that it would cause back home.
The trauma it would cause back home. Yep, you heard that right. I know I was very traumatized when she got arrested. So, it's obviously, to us in America, getting arrested for cannabis oil in a vape pen sounds stupid, right? With all of the country, legalizing marijuana, I think it's legal in 38 states now, 40 states. It sounds so stupid to us. But also as Americans, we need to realize is the world doesn't revolve around us. Other countries have their own laws too. And that's what happened here in Russia. Russia's very strict with that stuff. And she thought, I'm a celebrity, I can get away with anything I want, so I'm just going to walk in there with it. And like Tina said, she's been doing this since 2015. 7 years. She's been going to Russia. Never been an issue. Why would you just now get targeted? You're literally a 7-foot tall woman. You stick out like a sore thumb in Russia. You have been targeted back in 2015 if that was the case. You wouldn't just now get targeted 7 years later. So that's just a stupid argument. You broke the law. You pled guilty to breaking the law. You knew what you did was wrong. You were doing it for years. You're just mad that you got caught. I would be too if I got caught. Like I said, as Americans, we need to realize that the world doesn't revolve around us. And the thing too is there's other countries you could have played in that weren't Russia. Russia probably offer you the most money. I'm assuming that's why you kept going there. Who else would voluntarily go to Russia? But you could have played other places, especially with all the stuff about Russia. Russia's evil, Putin's evil. Why would you voluntarily go there and put yourself in that situation? It just doesn't make any sense to me. So who was she swapped with? She was swapped with a man named Viktor Bout, a Russian arms dealer serving a 25-year sentence in the United States federal prison. So who is Viktor Bout? Viktor Bout is a former Soviet military translator who speaks 6 languages. He began trafficking weapons in the 90s and became one of the most notorious arms dealers in the world, allegedly supplying artillery to regimes and militias across several continents. His stories inspired the 2005 Nicolas Cage movie Lord of War. Bout was arrested in Thailand in 2008 during an undercover investigation in which U.S. informants pretended to be Colombian rebels. So, let me get this straight. Our U.S. government had people in Thailand in 2008 to arrest this man because he was that dangerous, and we just gave him back to Russia for a gay basketball player. Does that make any sense to anyone? Bout had agreed, according to prosecutors, Bout had agreed to sell millions of dollars worth of weapons, including 800 surface-to-air missiles, 30,000 AK-47 arms, 10 million rounds of ammunition, 5 tons of C4 plastic explosives, ultralight airplanes outfitted with grenade launchers, and unmanned area vehicles to a Colombian group. He was extradited to the U.S. in 2011 after he was found guilty. So he was already in prison for 11 years here at this point. That's crazy. So we just gave him right back to Russia. And the thing that's so stupid about this too is like this was already after I think the Russia-Ukraine war already started. So we're still to this day saying Russia's this really bad guy. The Putin's evil. You know, when Putin was interviewed by Tucker was a traitor. Trump's a traitor for making sure Putin doesn't attack anyone. You know, all this crazy stuff, right? So then we're going to give him his arms dealer back for a gay basketball player. That's just wild to me. Who voluntarily broke the law. Like, I get the law is stupid there. I get in America we think it's stupid. 9 years is crazy for something like that. But she voluntarily did. We gave them an arms dealer. Like, who is deciding this? This is crazy. And then, I don't know if you guys remember, back around that time, there was a man named Paul Whelan who was supposed to be released with her. They were trying to do 2 for 1, and Russia wasn't having it. So Paul Whelan was a former Marine who was in prison in Russia on suspicion of spying. He had been jailed since December 2018, charged of espionage, which he and the U.S. government have denied. He was working as the head of global security as an auto parts supplier in Michigan. In 2020, Russia sentenced him to 16 years. So Russia only wanted to do 1 for 1. So Biden was like, should I pick the gay basketball player or should I pick the former Marine who served our country and was shown to really love our country more than the gay basketball player who used to kneel during the national anthem and complain about oppression? Which one should I pick? And he went with the gay basketball player who hates America. So it's funny how that works out. Because, you know, we live in a world today where it doesn't matter what your views are. It doesn't matter how good of a person you are. It doesn't matter how you treat people. It just matters about solely your identity when it comes to being released from a prison, when it comes to getting a job, when it comes to going to college. If you're in this box, if you're a minority, you're an LGBTQ, you're any of this, you're automatically put above everything else. It doesn't matter how much money you've given to charity. It doesn't matter how much you've volunteered. It doesn't matter how nice you are. It doesn't matter if you served our country. You will always be put behind people in this LGBTQ frame or people in the minority frame just because of their identity. And that's really a huge issue with our country, is that is all that matters to people like the Biden administration. You know, and it's sad. And that Paul Whelan is still in prison to this day. And he's probably going to serve out his whole sentence because I don't think Biden has any intention, because this was back in 2022. Biden has not mentioned this once since then. He has no intention of getting him out of there. So, I mean, maybe Trump will when he gets out or when he becomes president again in November. But, I mean, he was arrested under Trump too, so I don't know if Trump's going to get him out either. So we'll see. I think he's going to end up serving his whole 16-year sentence there. And he seems innocent. Griner was guilty. So it's funny how that works out. If only he was a gay basketball player, he'd probably already be up right now, and then he'd probably have like a parade for him and everything. He'd be like walking around, doing all these interviews. But unfortunately, he's a straight white man. So that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about this whole Brittney Griner thing. This whole thing kind of is just insane to me still to this day that all this happened. Make sure you like, subscribe to all my socials down below, and I will see you next time.